Update. My best friend, female 26, slept with my cheating ex, male 28, and tried to hide it. Original post. I feel like I'm in some kind of sick joke. I don't even know how to process this. The two people I trusted the most completely betrayed me, and one of them is standing here acting like I should be happy for her. For context, my ex and I broke up a year ago after I found out he had been cheating on me for months. And not just with one girl, he had a whole rotation. When I finally dumped his lying ass, I was shattered, but at least I had my best friend Emily. She was furious at him, called him a narcissist a-hole, swore I should never even look at his direction again. She was the one who told me I deserved so much better. Fast forward to last week, Emily started acting off, distant, canceling plans, taking forever to text back, and when she did, she was dry. I figured maybe she was stressed or dating someone new, but something in my gut told me she was hiding something. Then a mutual friend casually mentioned seeing her at a bar with my ex. Just the two of them. My stomach dropped. I texted Emily immediately. "Were you with my ex the other night?" It took her hours to reply. Then she hit me with, "Yeah, I ran into him. It was totally random. We just caught up for a sec." BS. At this point, I knew something was up, so I decided to do some digging. And that's when I found out the real story, and not from Emily, but from someone else. Apparently, she had been seeing him for weeks. It wasn't some random run-in. She had been sneaking around, sleeping with the same guy who destroyed me, while pretending to be my best friend. I was shaking with rage when I confronted her. I didn't even give her time to weasel her way out of it. I just looked her in the eye and said, "How long have you been sleeping with my ex?" Her face went pale. At first, she tried to fake innocence act. "What are you talking about?" So I told her everything I knew. She opened and closed her mouth like a fish, then finally sighed and said, "I was going to tell you." "Oh, you were going to tell me? When? After the honeymoon phase? After you got engaged? Or maybe when you needed a bridesmaid?" Then she hit me with, "I know this is going to sound crazy, but he's really changed." I almost laughed. Changed? The same guy who lied to my face every day for months? The same guy who swore he was faithful while texting other girls in my bed? That guy changed? I asked her if she actually gave a damn about me, about how she held me while I cried over him, about how she ranted about how disgusting he was, how she swore he'd never forgive him either. And you know what she said? "I do, but people make mistakes." At that point, I couldn't even look at her. I walked out. And now, she's blowing up my phone, apologizing, saying she never meant to hurt me, that she didn't plan for this to happen, that love is complicated. No, lust is complicated. Betrayal is complicated. This is just disgusting. I don't think I can ever look at her the same way again, but we've been friends since we were in preschool. This hurts so much, I don't know how I can go on, or if I can even forgive her. How do I get the picture of them out of my mind? Now for the top advice before reading the update. Obviously, she isn't your friend, but I'll cheat on her so she'll lose both of you. And that's karma. Just make sure to get the word out so she can't spread a false narrative. Some of my friends think I'm too harsh and controlling who she dates when I tried venting to them, and think I shouldn't end a friendship over this. Those friends are wrong, and I'd watch them carefully for the same type of behavior. I posted on this thread 2 years ago, where my ex-best friend of 20 years slept with my ex-boyfriend who was verbally abusive, multiple times at that. The reason I did so was because all of our mutual friends, and I mean all, were taking their side. But I knew deep down what they did was awful, not loving in any way. A betrayal that no one in their mid-20s should be able to do. I confronted her in a much kinder way than you, lol. Hoped that we could build trust back. She apologized deeply and said everything will be better. Lies. What was I expecting? As expected by everyone else but me, the friend still took her side, and I was left without the group I've known for years. Anyways, I bring this up because my life is so much better now. She was a horrible friend, and now I see it clear as day. I have friends who, though I haven't known them 20 years, there will be a day I can say that and know how deeply I love them, and they love me. I know you're fearing a loss you invested so much time in, but I promise you there is a much, much greener pasture on the other side, and it's all yours. Please take the plunge, lose those evil people, and cut ties with anyone who supports her decision to betray you in any way. They're not good people either. I'm so sorry that happened. This helped me, though, thank you. Honestly, as odd as it is, I'm glad it happened. The friend group was such low quality, and I was blind to it. I'm happy I didn't waste another 20 years on those people. Hysterical that the way I left was because of the one person I trusted most. The world works in mysterious ways that all you really had to do is laugh. You may not know it now, but there are people who are meant to be in your life in your mid-20s that are much better for you. Ones that you can't invest in if you stay so close to someone who happily betrays you in this way. Your friend did make a mistake. She was actively hiding something that she was actively doing multiple times. Please do not let that knowledge go for some sunk cost fallacy. If you feel lonely, please message me and you can rant all you want. What they did was horrible, and no one should be able to invalidate your feelings. I didn't look back, and I don't regret it at all. Good luck! Now for the update. I wasn't really planning on posting an update, but things have gotten even messier, and I needed to vent. After I cut Emily off, I thought that was it. I made it clear that I didn't want anything to do with her, but apparently she's been telling people her own version of what happened, and now some of our mutual friends are turning against me. At first she kept texting me, apologizing and saying she never meant to hurt me. I ignored it. Then she switched tactics and started making it seem like I'm the one overreacting. She's been telling people that I'm trying to ruin her happiness, that I'm mad for no reason because it's not like I was still with him, and that I should just accept that they have a connection. Now, some of our friends are acting weird around me. A few have even said they think I'm being too harsh, and that she didn't cheat on me, so why does it matter? One even told me I don't own my ex. They even had the audacity to show me Emily's Instagram story of them both. I never said I owed either of them, but it's like they're both shoving it in my face now the cat's out of the bag. And they have no shame. Never in my wildest dreams or nightmares did I see my best friend, who saw firsthand how much she hurt me, would turn around and start dating him. And now publicly. I still have a few friends on my side, but it's frustrating that I'm now being seen as bitter or dramatic for cutting her off. It's not about wanting him back. It's about trust. And at this point, I don't even recognize Emily anymore. I don't regret my decision, but now I'm losing even more people than just her, and it's not even my fault. It makes me feel like I'm going crazy, like I was the one who did something wrong. Next story. Am I the a-hole for telling my dad's mistress I don't care about their possible deaths? My parents' marriage ended just over a year ago after my mom learned my dad was having an affair. My dad and his mistress have been together for about 6 years by then, and I think he wanted my mom to find out. Since my older siblings had already moved out, and I, 18 female, was almost grown, he wasn't as concerned about hiding it anymore. To me and my siblings, it seemed like he hated my mom, and from the way he spoke, it felt like he resented her for ever being happy with him. We all cut him off when we found out. He tried to fight it, telling us he still loved us, that he was still our dad, and that he still wanted the best for us. But none of us wanted the best for him. My brother told him he hoped the rest of his life would be miserable. Weeks after my mom filed for divorce, my dad texted me and my siblings to tell us that his mistress was pregnant. He even sent us a sonogram photo, but none of us cared enough to reconnect with him or keep him in our lives. I still live at home with my mom while attending community college. My siblings visit, but they live out of state now. A couple of weeks ago, my dad's mistress showed up at the coffee shop where I worked and tried to talk to me. I stayed professional and told her that personal conversations were not allowed at work. She left but came back when my shift was ending, trying to talk to me again as I walked home. I told her I had nothing to say to her. She wanted me to look at and meet her baby, but I walked away before she could take the baby out of the stroller. She showed up again a few days later, this time without the baby. She told me to think about how short life is and how my dad could die tomorrow, implying that I would regret cutting him out of my life. I told her I didn't care if either of them died. I told her they were sick and twisted, and I was letting him go. I said I didn't care about him, her, or their baby. I also warned her that if she wanted to protect her child from the truth, she had better keep them away from me and my siblings, because we wanted nothing to do with them and wouldn't pretend otherwise just to make them happy. I then told her to leave me alone, or I would go to the police for harassment. Later that day, I received a DM from a random account calling me heartless for not caring whether my dad or his mistress died. Since she was the only person I said that to, I deleted the message and moved on. But she also told my dad's family, and now some of them are saying I should still care about my dad and the baby because they are family. Another relative said the mistress had done nothing wrong to me or my family, and that she owed my mom nothing. I brushed off what they said, but it made me wonder, was I wrong to say I didn't care? Either way, I won't apologize. I'll just ignore them if she or my dad tries again in the future. Am I the a-hole? Actions have consequences. Your father's wife was cruel to stalk you, and she set herself up for a conversation she wouldn't like. Maybe things will change in the future, or maybe they won't, but not the a-hole. My feelings about not having a relationship definitely won't change. I've lost all respect for him, and I really don't care about her or their child. Blood doesn't mean as much to me as it does to some people. Even though the baby didn't do anything wrong, I see them as just another random baby in the world, not family, and not someone I desperately want a relationship with. The mistress did nothing wrong? She owed your mom nothing? Is that relative out of their freaking mind? She spread her legs to a married man and he went right along with it. Your sperm donor, aka dad, was sleeping with another woman for 6 years, not caring about the wife and kids he already had. His filth, and for his family to come after you? It's obvious they're okay with him cheating you, your mom, and taking a dump on his own family. They're enablers. Blood isn't family. If you want nothing more to do with them, block them, contact the police and a lawyer, and then file a restraining order if the harassment continues. When a person cheats on their spouse, they also cheat on their family and their kids. They don't care about their own children. Too bad the courts don't take away parental rights permanently from people like that. The relative said the mistress wasn't married to mom or a part of our family then, and owed us nothing. That only my dad did. I don't see it that way though. She expected us to be a family once she and dad were together officially, and that was never going to happen. I think it's sick she expected it. A lot of people say cheating doesn't make someone a bad parent, just a bad spouse, that it shouldn't mean losing custody and stuff. I don't think anywhere in the US allows it now. But cheating destroys the family and creates conflict unless you expect people to be doormats who can't get angry at a cheating spouse or partner once they have children together. It's unrealistic and doesn't make sense to me. Last story. My coworker broke up with her boyfriend and it is because of my husband and I. As the title says, my coworker broke up with her boyfriend of many years because of my husband and me. Despite how it sounds, this is a positive story and something I didn't even realize was happening. For some context, my husband and I work at the same company, though we're in slightly different departments. We have the same shift and normally get to take lunch together and interact frequently throughout the day. We always maintain work-appropriate behavior with each other while on the clock, though if it is low, we will occasionally have more friendly interactions. My coworker, I'll call her Mel, started working with us almost a year ago. She's very sweet, but seemed very shy and sensitive. Initially, our department worried she wouldn't work out because it was incredibly difficult to give her corrections. Even saying something like, "Oh, you wouldn't know this, but this client will always request this incorrectly, and what they really need is this process," would make her excuse herself to the bathroom because she'd start to cry. I now know this should have been a red flag, but the only relationship abuse I'd seen personally had been physical. And while that could have been happening too, I never met her boyfriend and never saw any bruises. About 2 months ago, she told us she had moved, and though I didn't pry, I could hear in her conversation that she wasn't including her boyfriend in the process. I stayed quiet, though I had my suspicions, and watched her come out of her shell. She was smiling more. She became less sensitive and seemed overall much happier. I didn't ask or question it, but simply enjoyed working with her in a better overall mood. About 2 or 3 weeks ago, we had a lull at work and she started opening up to me. Mal confirmed that she had left her boyfriend and that it had been a long time coming. But she said that my husband and I were the reason she finally realized her relationship wasn't healthy and that she deserved better. Mal told me that she watched how we behaved with each other and initially just thought we were a unique couple with a strange personality. But she noticed that we never yell, even when we disagreed, and that we worked together to find solutions. And it wasn't just us. Our other coworkers had similar reactions when mistakes came up or disagreements happened. No one screamed or called each other stupid. We searched for solutions and expressed concerns, and no one cried. She also told me she had been afraid to see us drink alcohol because she was worried we'd turn into lunatics. This was at a department outing for a birthday where we all had one drink. Obviously, no one became belligerent, and she seemed very unsettled by this. Again, no one asked questions because it wasn't our business, but we assumed she had a bad history with alcohol, which turned out to be true. She told me that on multiple occasions, she had to search for her partner at 3 a.m. because he was drunk somewhere. He would berate her on the phone and also on a car ride back home. For so long, she worked from home. She didn't know what normal human reactions were supposed to look like. She was very grateful to have watched my husband and me interact, to see how we never talked poorly about each other and only shared healthy expressions of love. It helped her recognize that she deserved better. I was very flattered and humbled to hear that my indirect actions have helped her search for something better for herself. I wasn't even aware that my husband and I had that level of effect on my coworkers. Now for the comments. That's absolutely wonderful. But I'd say she broke up with her crappy boyfriend because of her. She previously didn't know any better and thought her abusive relationship was normal. When she found out it wasn't, she took the initiative to act on it. She deserves insane credit for this, and I hope you tell her so. An awful lot of people in her situation won't demand better and won't make the change. She deserves a lot of credit for her actions. Absolutely. I didn't include our specific words in the post, but I did tell her I was proud she put herself first and took care of her own health. As a mid-50s man happily married for 28 years, I'm not surprised. I tend to find that people in the 25 to 40 range are often immature when it comes to real-life relationships. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because they are between the previous generation, which didn't have online relationships, and Gen Z, which has fully embraced an online presence. They still rely on the old code, but they live under new rules and expectations. They often tend to be either absolutist or completely clueless. I had a 28-year-old male employee crying because he had been ghosted by his online girlfriend of 3 years. 3 years. Never met her in real life. And he locked himself away to cry for hours. I also had a 26-year-old female employee who desperately wanted to get married but couldn't get her relationships to last more than 3 months. She was so focused on marriage that she neglected her relationships and came across as desperate. Many people are influenced by social media and don't realize they have unrealistic expectations. They don't even see that this makes them toxic. My wife is a couples therapist, and we were invited to the wedding of a friend's daughter. Some of the bride's friends heard about my wife's profession and came to ask her questions. One of the bridesmaids wanted a 100,000 pounds wedding, and her fiancé had refused to finance that extravagance. Her friends egged her on, saying she deserved to have her dream wedding. She wanted to give him an ultimatum. Either he gave in to her demand or they were through. My wife had the audacity to say that as soon as she gave the ultimatum, the relationship would be over or doomed. She could not understand why that was a bad idea.